make sure this monkey loses some weight. But this asshole who made him fat is just going to give him more. I'm going to say Fritos. I don't know.
So I
Why have I waited so long to do drugs?
Is that Rainbow Dash on your shirt?
I don't want to feel the feelings.
I need to eat a bunch of cheeseburgers.
The best parts of hanging out with these guys, without the hangover.
What's going on,
Hey,
baby?
hey there, Twizzle Tits. What's going on, Sweet Pea? How you doing this week?
Just trying to figure out where my fucking head is, and I'm pretty sure it's up a very warm, dark, damp place.
So status quo achieved.
Yeah, we're right where we need to be.
Welcome to Zig and Larry Ignore a Topic, the only show that the two of us host, where each week we promise to give you a D+ effort. We'll get to the goddamn topic eventually. It's going to be about halfway through, so if you really care, fast forward about halfway. Otherwise, we're just going to dick around for a little bit because that's what we like, and that's what other people seem to like.
That's what we do. We're like Zelensky Auto Parts. It's what we do and who we are.
Is that a thing?
From Tommy Boy?
I remember that it was just Chris. No, I got nothing. No, I know nothing. That's who we do and what we are. That's what I did, and I'm sorry about it. What is it?
That's the title of my autobiography.
That's my puddle, and I promise I'll take care of it.
Yes. Them's my leavings and oopsie doodles.
And if this is your first episode, that's the first joke that I will fucking tank. So, Larry, do you mind doing the due diligence about all of the plugs that we have to do?
Hey, if you're listening to us on whatever podcast platform, just give us a like and subscribe and a rate it. You know what? If you leave us a review, it actually does us a lot of good. If you leave us a review, we won't have to keep asking for it. Also, if you want to see what we actually look like, which would you just see Ziggy's beautiful ink and this beard that can only be described as given up. And go to our YouTube channel.
I would say intentional. It's definitely described as intentional.
Yes. And but hit our YouTube channel, Zig and Larry Ignore a Topic. If you want to email us, Zig will respond and we will talk about it on the air. It's Zig and Larry Ignore a Topic at Gmail. What else? Oh, also our sponsor. I don't know if we mentioned our sponsor last
We
episode.
did not. Actually, I need to bring that up. We did not hit our sponsor last time.
And we're real pieces of shit. Sorry, boys.
Not
our sponsor. We are sponsored by SplitSociety.org. Are you tired of smoking out of bullshit? Smoke your favorite herb out of real palm leaf spliffs. They're roasted. They're delicious. And you know what? Even if you don't like to smoke spliffs, you know what else you can get from them? All types of goodies. You can get some stash boxes. You can get some rolling papers. You can get trays. You can to separate your favorite herb. Whatever you want to do.
And this is not a joke. I bought one of like the beautiful grinders, like the metal ones that have the spinner on the top. Gave that to my mom because she dries like her like basil and stuff that she grows herself. It's like I just don't have a way to crush it very good. I didn't want to get her more for a pestle, so I got her a fucking weed grinder. It's like it's perfect. But yeah, ma, it is.
It's great.
It does the same thing. You know,
it really does. And you know what? You can use them for grinding pepper and rosemary and some oregano and whatever other spices. But you know what? They also SplitSociety.org. They do a lot of charity work. So
good people.
Check them out. It is SplitSociety.org, and they do sponsor this stupidity. What else do we need to? Oh, and if you're a regular listener, thanks Appreciate it. That sounded sarcastic, but it's not. We appreciate you.
You just
Coming
insulted
back.
them with our love. You aggressively just waggled your dick at them with our affection.
That's how we do it on this show. Hey, you know what? Thanks. But no, for real. Thanks, guys, for coming back and listening. Again, if you're listening to us, especially on iTunes, a rating, a 5-star rating and a review really would help us out tremendously, because then we could get more sponsors and prove to our parents that we're not just wasting our lives. And do that quick, because, you know, we're not young and neither are our folks. So let's
Clock
get
is ticking on
to
that,
it.
yeah.
Let's get to it.
Hey, good plugs there. Good
Hey, thanks,
plugs,
buddy.
buddy.
Thanks. I'm still a grumpy little piss bear. What are you drinking now?
This is last week I drank an entire 25-ounce chelada bullshit clamato thing, which I am not happy with. I really wish I didn't. This is the Light Bowl. This is from Revolution Brewing. This is their new round of their session sour ales. This is their peach sour ale.
Yeah.
It's called Freedom of Speech. It's a peach sour, 4.5% alcohol by volume. Just this year's session sour, and it is goddamn delightful. I bought a couple of them. I'm cracking another one right now. It is worth every penny. It's so good, man.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
You like a sour ale as much as I do.
I do too. Yeah, absolutely. And Revolution is one of my favorite breweries. This is rum.
The same rum as last week with the touch of ginger beer, or just like
no ginger beer, just fucking rum. I thought there was ginger beer left in a bottle. There was not, so we put rum in there and some ice, and we're just gonna try and do our best. We're just gonna do our best. So see. Do you see this? You see this? You see all this fucking hair?
I see where your hair is trying to resurrect itself on your dome.
Yeah.
I
you know
see
what
where
we're
you
doing?
should have shaved that bitch up. Are you gonna bring it back?
I think, because it's stupid looking, I think we're just gonna let it grow and just get as dumb looking as possible. Fuck it.
Okay, so you're not going to attempt to hide the fact that you are very strongly balding, correct?
No, God no.
Okay.
No,
There will
in fact,
be no comb over. There's no
no comb over.
spraying the bullshit on the top of the head to fill in the gaps.
No, there's no
Okay.
There's no hiding it. This will accentuate how stupid bald I am.
And you're doing this because you no longer enjoy sex, or because you have decided to give up on self-worth, or other?
I'm doing it because even if this is stupid and scraggly and long, and this beard keeps getting bigger, somehow, some way, my wife still finds me attractive.
Well, yeah, but it's almost like you're teasing her with the idea of how far can I go before you won't taste my cock.
I asked her the other day, I was like, hey, would you mind if I just let my hair? I said, no, give me a couple weeks and I might go, fuck it, I'm shaving this shit off again. And
well,
I
if
was
you
like,
say let my hair grow long, she might think you mean your balls, because up top.
no, we were specific. I was like, you mind if I let my hair grow? She goes, you mean the stuff up here? I said, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And she's like, go for it. I haven't seen that in a long time, and I like how fuzzy it is. And I was like, this is a dangerous place. You do a woman that looks like that, who's in love with a guy that looks like this, who is willing to make himself look even worse. Fuck you to the rest of everybody else. It doesn't matter.
Are we talking out of comedy? Out of just curiosity? Is it a science experiment? Have you given up?
Can I answer yes to all of those?
Yeah, sure.
Because I think that's what it is.
You're figuring out your own path as you go along. I think that's important.
I think I'm just trying. I'm just discovering my look.
I think your look is discovering you, pal. Like it's just like it's evolving into as all of us, it's like I don't really have that much control over it anymore. It's
I'm just leaning into it because that's the thing. If I let this go for a little bit longer and I go, fuck it, I hate it, I can always just buzz it off. This beard,
do that.
This beard,
No, keep the beard.
if I want to, I it's good podcasting. We're just gonna punch the fucking microphone. God damn it.
Wow.
I can do whatever I want, because this beard will always come back.
Hey, man, I think you need a Klondike bar and a hug.
I do, man. Fuck me.
You're doing your me impression.
I am. Well, I can get grumpy. I try to be a positive. I try to be a positive Polly, but sometimes your buddy Coors Crinkle turns into a negative Nancy.
Well, this isn't our topic, but I just want to throw this out at you. Headline I read the other day: a Texan aims to resurrect the woolly mammoth to save the planet. And that's a real thing.
To save the planet.
Did you read this?
I saw the headline and went, well, that seems like a terrible plan.
I guarantee you by the time we are 50, they will have fucking done it. This is batshit insane. This is
how is that going to save the planet?
Here's what we're doing. There is a guy named Ben Lamb. Ben Lamb, L-A-M-M, has built up a bunch of batshit crazy companies and sold them off. And now he has so much money, he can't shove any more of it up his ass just to piss off the poor. So he doesn't know what else to do. He found this one guy who is apparently a narcoleptic, and I'll come up with his name here in a second, but who's a scientist. And they are playing Jurassic Park, the home game, because they found woolly mammoth DNA that's been buried and frozen for so long. They're pretty sure they can inject that into an actual living elephant to make mammoths or whatever they want to call them, and they're going to throw those into Alaska, the Arctic Circle, so they can trounce around and make the terrain like it used to be, and save the planet by making big ass fucking woolly elephants in the Arctic Circle. I wish that is a gross generalization, but it's all true. The business is called Colossal.
Kiss my ass.
It's batshit nuts, but they can and will do it. Like the science is roughly there. They've gotten backers from everywhere, like to Elon Musk. I mean, that guy's got so much money. He's just like, I don't know what he's doing. He's just like, he's wiping his ass with $100 bills and throwing it at the poor.
Yeah, I'm making all that money off those fucking blood emeralds.
That's the thing. Blood emeralds?
Yeah, his family made their money is in South African blood emeralds. They own an emerald mine. He is not. That's where he got all his money is from his family's fucking blood money.
I didn't even know you could have blood emeralds. I know blood diamonds.
He's the Justin Hammer. Everyone's like, he's like Tony Stark. No, he's Justin Hammer. He's the evil Tony Stark. Kiss my fucking ass. We don't need mammoths. What we need is hybrid and clean technology that will keep our fucking planet from dying, where we don't have to pull the lifeblood out of it. What we need is to gut the oil companies and eat the fucking rich. Kiss my ass with a woolly mammoth. Although, can I have one as a pet? Then I can ride it into battle.
See, there's an upside of everything. The scientist who came up with the original idea, his name is George Church. He kind of looks like Charles Darwin. He looks like a lunatic, and apparently he's not.
So do I.
So yeah. Well, but this guy's like gray, like fully gray, and he's in his gray years. But I guess he's fully like also narcoleptic. So every time like somebody tries to like speak to him or interview him, he's like, so I do have the science. I can.
Dude, that's how as a dad, that's just how I get out of every uncomfortable conversation with the kids. Just pretend I fell asleep. If I'm sitting in my chair, it's plausible deniability. Nobody questions it.
Do you fake sleep?
No.
I fake sleep with you. I fake sleep on the bus.
I know, I've had to scrap multiple episodes.
Just 20 minutes of me. I know you're not really snoring. Zig, I know you're not really snoring.
and then just peeking out of one eye.
Is it?
I can see. And I sleep with my eyes open. You're responding. I sleep talk. God damn it.
There will be resurrected woolly fucking mammoths. It's going to happen.
You know what? If I can put a saddle on it and ride it and just through a fucking Amazon distribution center, let's do it.
Oh, I'm fine with all of this nonsense. I mean, at this point, it's just.
Look, if I can ride onto my family's ranch while the old man is on horseback, and I come riding up in like leather armor, holding a battle axe on a woolly mammoth, and go, "What's up, pussy?" and get away with it. Fucking hey, let's do it. Bring me a woolly mammoth.
I need more instances in my life where "What's up, pussy" is a generally accepted phrase.
Right?
Like I just want to be like something like totally nonchalant. Like I grabbed the last pack of basmati rice at Aldi, and somebody gives me a shitty stare, and I go, "What's up, pussy?"
Pussy.
That will shut them down. You don't need basmati rice at that.
Get a couple sets of brass knuckles and just put them on while you're saying it. It doesn't matter how big or small you are. You throw on some brass knuckles, and people are like, "What the fuck?" You know, like, "Yeah, what's up? I got some brass knucks." And I'm willing to throw down on some basmatis.
One pause. Seamless.
Hey, buddy, you know what we didn't do last episode? And I wanted to mention something real quick.
What's that?
So, a couple weeks ago when this episode comes out, we lost a hero of ours. Norm Macdonald kicked. And we all know, if anyone ever paid attention to Norm, that there's no sentimentality that is needed. The man spent a long time fighting cancer and still was out there doing what he loved to do, which is making people laugh and sometimes annoying Hollywood. And we can both appreciate that. And we talked about doing a whole episode about Norm, but two things. One, we didn't want it to seem like a eulogy, as in your words, Zig said it the best. I want this to be a tribute, not a eulogy. Mm-hmm. And so we're not going to do that. And two, what I said to you was I don't want it to seem like some type of bullshit performative bandwagon, whatever, So, Norm was one of those guys that was just a hell of a comic. He made us laugh. He was a hero of ours, was greatly influential from the time we were little guys. I remember seeing his
up until 2 years from now. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Norm is I'm not going to use words like he was fearless. He was this. Yeah. No, he just was a comic that believed in his material. And from all information that I've been given, just a hell of a nice guy. And my regret, can't have a lot of regrets. Everyone lives their life and we do what we can. My regret is that I never had the chance to meet him. I have some comic friends that worked with him and kept asking, "Have you ever met Norm?"
Nice.
And I had to say, no, I've never had the privilege. And they're like, "Well, here's the thing. Either you and Norm would either love each other or hate each other, or you would love to hate each other or hate to love each other. I can't figure out which one." And what makes me saddest, because I'm not big on that whole gnashing of teeth, rending of clothes for the death of a celebrity, but I feel like I lost a friend that I never had the chance to meet. And that's all I'm going to say. So there we go. That's what I have to say about Norm Macdonald.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to raise a glass. I can.
Cheers, Norm.
Cheers.
Merry on your way.
Much like Don Rickles gone too soon. I was trying to think of a joke that he might enjoy.
That would be it. God damn, that was perfect.
No, I apologize. That seamless little thing before we had our tribute to a brilliant man was due to the fact that I share my life with an elderly Chihuahua who is constantly needy. If you have an elderly dog who's a lab, mostly they just like stick to their own stuff. Like, I'll be fine, just leave me alone. Having an elderly Chihuahua is very similar to the 23-year-old who says, "Did you see my post? Why didn't you comment? Why didn't you like it? Did you see my post?" Look at Jesus fucking Christ. And that's what I live with every day. If I don't appease him, he will shit inside of everything loosely. Now he'll do it aggressively, but the shit will be loose.
Shit on loosely
Sing it.
and on your shoes.
Sing more of it.
No.
Keep singing it. All right.
No.
Well, I think we could probably get into our weekly battle if we can.
Oh, hey, I did want to tell you a quick story.
Oh, okay.
So, a few weeks ago now, I was opening for my buddy Dan Bublitz Jr. He was doing his album recording called "Strangers in My Basement," and he had opportunity to do this recording at different comedy clubs and such. But he was like, "I think it's a really funny idea to just invite people over to my house, do it in my basement, and do this album recording because then he'd have a little more control over the environment and who came in and such." And he
it's
actually
obviously self-produced, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he actually set up this. It was a really cool stand-up theater, kind of like down in his basement. Did a really good job with that. But I was outside, kind of getting my mind right, and I'm standing there having a drink, and everyone was to come in the back door because you go in the back door, and then you open up the back door and it goes straight down into the basement. Okay. So there's no like people wandering through the house. You don't have to have a doorman. It was just, if you bought a ticket, he sent you instructions. But he also had like a little chalkboard out there that was like, "Hey, strangers in my basement." And he did it Friday and Saturday night. And I'm out there and this woman is looking at her phone and she's kind of looking around. She's looking at her phone and she looks up at me and I look like this, but I mean, with the big beard, and I'm standing there and I'm kind of doing one of these, like hand for the podcast listeners, my hand is like over my face. And I'm just like, "Oh, come on, get in your head, get your material. You got this." And I hear, "Are you in the right place?" And I kind of give it a, "Huh?" And I look at her and I was like, "Yeah, just straight in the door and down into the basement. Good luck." And this woman went, "Okay," and just went downstairs. And I was like, normally I would have I'd be a little more conscientious about telling a woman by herself, "Go in the house, head to the basement, I'll be right behind you." But I just was not thinking. But this woman just took it on, just like, "Okay, I'm in the right place." And she went down into the basement. I was like, "You know what? That's on you. That's not on me."
Either led an amazingly charmed or an amazingly bruised life. Mm-hmm. Either way, she's like, "Nothing bad's going to happen to me," or "Nothing worse is going to happen to me." It's one of the two. Yep. I'm in the latter team there. I'm team worse.
Yeah, like, I'm team. This whatever. Woman's been stabbed once.
Yeah, I mean, scars are adorable at this point.
Scars are adorable.
Look at all the holes on my body. In the dark, can you pick the butthole? Only with your finger? I bet you can.
See, there's an adorable scar on Nicole's knee.
Does it look like a butthole?
Yes, it actually does. It looks like a little chocolate starfish, and it was.
What did you put in there or thrust out of it?
Wood chips.
Which way?
Yes.
Yeah.
We had taken the kids. This was before we had gotten married. We were still just kind of like, we were a few years into our relationship. We had taken the kids to a one of the cool playgrounds here in Springfield, and we were playing tag with them, and she was running and went to like try to to maneuver while one of the kids juked her. And when she went down, her knee went into the wood chips and just busted her knee up. And like wood chip went into the knee, and I ran over and just scooped her up and carried her to the car. Because I was like, I've got a first aid kit in the car. Turns out we had just been camping, so the first aid kit was in the camping kit, which was not in the car.
Ah, very good.
Well, just so happened it was a nice day. So there was, and this is before obviously the pandemic. This is like, years ago when all three of the kids were like, playground, yay! Instead of now where they're like running. I don't think so. Why would I do gross things like that? And so I'm like, all right, I'll go get the kids. We're gonna head back to the house. I'll get you cleaned up. I'll get you taken care of. Because I was a first responder. When I worked for the railroad, I was a first responder. I had all that training. Also, growing up with my old man in the middle of nowhere, we learned how to clean and sew up wounds. So I'm pretty good at all this stuff. But I turned to go get the kids, and there's this dude who's like running up, and he's like, hey. And I'm like, what did he, am I going to have to fight this guy because he thinks that I threw, did I abuse her or something? And he was like, I'm a paramedic. And I was like, okay. And he said, I've got my entire kit in the back of my car right now. Are you guys cool if I get her taken care of? And we were both like, I was like, honey? And she's like, yeah, by all means. And so this dude grabbed, and he had like a fucking Plano tackle box style, like just this big old
there's gauze
box.
and there's needles and thread, and there's neosporin, and there's a couple of dildos that we don't talk about, and for some reason a bunch of fishing flies.
Sometimes a woman has hysteria and you got to take care of it for her. Anyway, so he like gets her all fixed up, and he looks at her and goes, you might not be running to play tag, but maybe some freeze tag. And then we all high-fived, and he just walked away and went back to his kid. And I was like, that was amazing. But yeah, she's got a scar from that. And every time, like when she wears a skirt, she's like, my knee, it's got that scar. And I'm like, that is the cutest scar in the world, because that was you and me and the kids when they were little. And it's like one of those memories that always just pops up. So yeah, sometimes scars are cute. Mine, not so much. Hers, adorable.
Wait, are you saying, Larry, that sometimes things that you can do with children, like games and toys and things of that nature, can be dangerous?
Yes.
Well,
That's
my
exactly
God,
what I'm saying.
we have stumbled right upon a lead-in for my bullshit this week. I love it. We do it all the time on accident. I fucking love it.
It really is, folks. I have as you know, if this is your first time listening, we'll explain. If it's your 30-something time listening, then no, it'd be 50-something, because we've been over a year and there's
60, I think.
Whatever. Then that it's for real. Neither of us usually know what the other one is about to fucking talk about. And so I stumbled onto Genius.
Well, my friend, not bullshit that you can hurt yourself with out in the world, but I was playing around with thinking about things that could hurt little children. That comes out weird. No, but we are about to talk about some things that I really love, which is when businesses do something so
when children get hurt. Yes, that's
horrific.
Hilarious.
Yes, exactly. So horrifically stupid that it's spectacular, and we're a little bit removed from history. We're going to talk about some of the most dangerous toys that have ever been put on the goddamn market.
I bet I could guess a handful of them, but I won't ruin the surprise.
No, it's okay. I tell you what, we'll do the one that you and I both know because I bet you we both played with them. We'll do the first one because this is like one of the most dangerous things, period.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hit some of the ones that I don't think you've ever heard of.
Okay.
But we have to get this one out of the way because jarts, right?
Oh yeah, jarts.
Yeah, jarts. Okay.
Fucking lawn darts are great.
If you don't know what a jart is, a lawn dart is a steel. So picture a dart like in a bowling alley or in a bar, but make it about 4 pounds and top heavy. The idea is you play it kind of like horseshoes or bags or cornhole.
But you
just
throw it way up in the air.
You lob this bitch way up in the air, really far away, attempting to get into your opponent's target, which is roughly the size of a hula hoop, and you get points thusly.
It's slightly smaller than a hula hoop. You know how I know? My grandparents had a set. My grandparents that were park rangers had a set. And my cousins and I would go out and play with those. How my cousins taught me how to play was that you had to stand in the hoop, all 4 of you had to stand in the hoop, throw the jart, as hard as you could straight up. And the last one to leave the circle lost.
That's the Hunger Games.
Or excuse me, the first one to leave the circle lost. The last one to leave the circle won. And
won a jart in the dick. Or the top of the head.
I took one to the shoulder. It did not stick in because it glanced off, but it was that point that my grandma had noticed what we were doing and walked up and went, no, Lammy, come over here. And I thought I was in trouble. And she's like, did the older kids, because I was the youngest, she's like, did the older kids tell you that's how you play lawn darts? And I was like, yeah. She goes, okay. And my grandma was the sweetest human being on the Grandma Shaw was the sweetest human being on the planet. But she looked at my older cousins and went, so this is how you play? And they went, well, and she's like, no, this is how you play. Give me one. And so she got at one of the jarts and she said, now you 3, Lammy, you stay here and watch how Grandma does it. You 3 stand in that circle. I'll show you how to play. And I was like, and of course at the time. Did
Grandma kill a kid with a jart?
You know what? We're still not allowed to talk about that because but yeah, she did put the fear of God into 3 cousins. It was fantastic. And then later on, about 10 years later, my one of my cousins tried to shock me with a cattle prod.
That's not a toy. That's a different story. That's a different story for a different time. Yeah. I am absolutely not advocating this at all, but it is still legal to sell replacement parts for jarts. So if you need, conceivably, there's only 2 parts. There's the stick with the needle, and there's the fletchings. So I'm just saying. The good news is
I want some jarts.
Me too, so bad. Since the 80s, in 6,000 injuries, there were only 4 deaths.
Well, that's a pretty good ratio.
I mean, that's better than your average Yugo. I mean, that's pretty much okay. Granted,
the
you are
Gremlin killed the Ford Pinto killed more people.
Mm-hmm. And they were loosely based on an ancient Greek weapon of war, by the by.
And that's only a 0.07% chance of death.
Mm-hmm. Judging by that. From the 80s. Over 40 years of
you can still play lawn darts in a sense if you've got some bows and arrows and gumption
and a couple of kids with nothing to lose.
Yeah, a couple of kids that want to earn $50 the hard way.
So let's so we did jarts. Let's do a couple that you might not know, and then we're going to get into a couple that I know you don't know that just make me really happy because a lot of kids got really hurt. This is so shitty to say, but
wait, do I get a chance to give me a vague description and see if I can guess. Because there's a lot of these that I bet I know.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I wanted to hit a couple.
Okay.
At this point, I'll give you one guess.
Okay.
If you know one of them, hit me, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. And if not, I'm going to go back to my list.
There was one from the 50s where you got was it uranium to play with?
Oh, you bastard! Yes, absolutely. The Atomic Energy Lab.
Yep.
Yes, perfect. Hold on, give me a second. The Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Laboratory is a radioactive playset produced by, guess what, Alfred Carlton Gilbert, and sold between 1950 all the way to 1951. So it was just they had that 1 year. Because of obvious reasons.
Yeah, because kids started growing tails and extra arms and bullshit.
The set included a real Geiger counter The set included a Geiger counter and real Geiger counter sensitive uranium. Radioactive uranium was involved in the thing, and an order form. If your radioactive sample stopped setting off the Geiger counter, you could write in like your Red Ryder BB gun or your Ovaltine and say, hey, my radioactive shit isn't setting off my thing anymore. Can you send me some more radioactive uranium through the mail?
Well, absolutely, little Timmy. We can certainly send you some radioactive material. Hopefully that helps you grow a second penis.
The set originally sold in 1950 for $49.50, which in today's money is, can you guess?
$12,000.
No, it's like $550, give or take, like $525.
I got nothing. I'm good at statistics, not math.
But it's a $500 like chemistry set, basically. Not chemistry, obviously, but like science set for your kid. Due to the sophisticated nature of the toy lab, the company lost money on every toy sold. They actually lost money selling it for $49.50. They were selling it with radioactive fucking properties in it. The most advanced scientific toy ever created, as what they were. It's what they was marketed as. Kids were encouraged to measure atomic radiation and actually prospect for uranium. The, in quotes, completely safe and harmless, end quotes, toy promised a $10,000 prize.
Let's go back to harmless.
Offered a $10,000 prize by the U.S. government to any child who proved successful by finding radioactive uranium in their backyard. Atomic
finding uranium in their backyard, huh?
They were encouraged to find radioactive material, and they were the government said, if you find something cool with your Geiger counter, we'll give you $10,000 because this is the 50s and we're looking for shit to make bombs out of, basically. The Atomic Energy Lab was banned in the U.S. after it was suggested that children might ingest the radioactive materials.
Yeah, for superpowers. We all knew that's. I'm angry and I need some gamma rays.
Here's a small piece of radioactive material. Try not to lick it. Make sure when you wave your wand over it, it goes, and now go out in the world and find us more. And if you find something that's really radioactive, we'll give you some money. Sorry about the glowing.
Yeah, a bunch of government vehicles pull up. Hello, government. Hello, Mr. Gilbert. I've my Geiger counter found some things down here in the back 40. My old man owns it. You just hear not anymore. Sorry that your father had a heart attack.
Let's not forget this is a toy for children.
I love
ages 6 to 9.
I'm so mad. Yeah, 6 to 9, because above that, you might ruin their sperm count.
Well, you guess one.
What the fuck?
You want to try to guess another one?
The wood burning kit.
It's not on my list. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, good enough. Because you know what, we got a wood burning kit, and you know what kids need? Need to light shit on fire.
It might be this. I'm not sure. I just really want to hit this one.
Let's do
because
it.
this one is one that's been around since we were like kids-ish. It was on TV. It's not like from the 50s or anything. Aquadots.
Aquadots?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
So an aquadot, I remember it. It's like
Is that like the bullshit ice cream of the future?
no, that is actually called bullshit ice cream of the future, trademark these days. An aquadot, it's like these things where like you get a bunch of like little. I know you want to talk about it. What are you drinking? You're drinking something out of a bottle. Just tell everybody. It's fine. I know you just desperately need to say it, so say it.
No, I just had a delivery of booze.
Some matter of fruit wine.
Mm-hmm. Dry cherry. Lautenbach's Orchard Country from Door County, Wisconsin, home of the Houdat.
Everybody, let's watch as he slowly dips into insanity.
Whee!
So
Hit me
the
with more
aquadot-
dangerous toys because here's the thing. Some of this stuff, my grandma and grandpa on my dad's side would go to auctions and yard sales and buy some of this shit for me and my cousins to play with, because that will just make you a tougher man. If you survive childhood, then you grow up to be a tough man. Not realizing that some of this shit could have made us radioactive, and I love it.
This is a little bit of Larry's therapy coming out in the podcast right now. It's like things that he just talked about last week, and he really just needs a hug.
I
Conceivably,
just need someone to forgive.
Jesus Christ, I forgive you.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
So I'm going to bring us back to this because this one is
let's
really
do it.
good. Aquadots. So here's the idea. So aquadots are, it's like a craft tool. Okay. So you get all these like little beads of different colors, and you're given a little board, and you can put the beads in the board, and you can make like whatever you want. You make a little picture out of anything with different colors, and it's kind of like Legos-ish, but you put the beads in like the bead holes, and then you spray with water. After you spray it with water, you can pull the whole thing off, and then you have yourself a little sculpture, a little 2D sculpture of whatever you just made.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So those are aquadots. The toy was recalled later that year after it was revealed that the adhesive coating that was made with a chemical
Full of uranium.
Well, no, not quite. Once you spray it with water, it basically turns into GHB. Yeah, roofies. Once you spray these fucking little plastic bullshit things with water, there's a chemical reaction somehow with whatever cheap thing they were making it with that turned it into GHB, and little kids were eating the fucking little beads because they're tiny little kids and they're tiny little beads and they look like candy or whatever. And a lot of kids got fucked up, like comas and stuff.
If anyone has any of these what are they, aquadots laying around, email zigandlarryignore-a-topic@gmail, and we would be happy to give you our addresses, and you can just send it to us, and we can do a whole episode just roofied to the ball sacks.
It turns into GHB. How is that actually possible?
Silly putty was a failed plastic explosive, you know? Miracles happen all the time, Zig.
Okay, so I got a couple here. What's my favorite? I mean, this just is fun to say. Professor Wacko's exothermic exuberance.
That just sounds like, oh man.
Professor Wacko's exothermic exuberance.
It
Say it once
sounds
out loud. It's so satisfying.
Professor Wacko's exuberance preposterousness.
You got it, man. Well done.
Did I nail it? Did I nail it, Zig?
Professor
Just someone
Wacko
forgive me.
Jesus Christ.
Just
Professor-
cartwheeling towards my own demise. Here we go.
We all are, honey. Let's do it with a smile.
Yep.
Professor Wacko's exothermic exuberance chemistry set was originally marketed for children aged 10 and up. The chemistry set is intended to be an educational toy that teaches kids about heat and fire generated through chemical reaction. Wait for the punchline, honey. Wait for the punchline.
I'm trying to cover up my face.
It was found that mixing small amounts of chemicals, glycerin and potassium permanganate, could react with heat and fire. You know, shit that's in fucking gunpowder.
Oh, you like napalm? Yeah.
Several incidents, including a minimum of 2 house fires, several more unconfirmed, were reported after bottle caps of the above chemicals were inadvertently switched. The Wild Goose Company, which is who put this out, recalled the exothermic science kit in 1994. Professor Wacko's exothermic exuberance. Professor Wacko's giving you a whole bunch of chemical fucking explosives.
Hello, children. I'm Professor Wacko.
Is your house made out of wood?
Is there wood in the walls?
Does your dad go to bed early because he drinks too much?
Children, have you ever wondered what would catch on fire? The answer,
is
everything.
everything. God damn it, that's so good. Oh God, I got so hard with that. That was great.
I have
That's so good.
instructions on how to mix things that will make it go boom. Have you ever wanted to see things go kaboom? And Professor Wacko is the teacher for you.
They gave kids in a box all the shit you need just to like basically make a chemical fire that rages out of control. And
yeah, they just gave them
it's not
half of
thermite, but it's
napalm.
like, yeah, but just like
Did the Anarchist Cookbook come in the end, like the expansion kit?
there's just one guy with like a pencil thin mustache jerking himself off, going, "I figured it out."
Yeah, we're building an army.
Where are we at time-wise, pal?
We have gone way too far. No, it's like 46 minutes. We got time.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, let's do a snack time cabbage patch.
I'm sorry?
The snack time cabbage patch stuff.
The snack time cabbage patch. Oh my God, that's one of those phrases that, especially if you say it with the Chicago accent, sounds more racist than it is. Hey, look at this snack time cabbage patch.
It's a lidless pickle jar over there.
Oh,
Next to
look
that
at this!
snack time
Look at this
cabbage
lidless
patch.
pickle jar walking next to a snack time cabbage patch. Oh my God!
Well, so in the 80s, you remember Cabbage Patch dolls, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the idea is
I
that
don't know
they
why I
were,
said it so pissed off. Yeah.
yeah, stupid. Of course I
Yeah.
do.
Fucker.
Asshole. I don't know why they were so popular, but they were. So like the idea is that these little watermelon head kids with like a weirdly elongated skull grew out of a cabbage patch and they turned into a doll.
Mhm.
And it turned into a whole big thing. They
Yeah,
were
that's how
kinda
babies
cute.
are made. And that's how babies are made.
How are babies made? How did you make your 3 children in relationship to a vegetable patch?
One of them was made next to a vegetable patch,
Okay.
and I'm not sure I was there.
Which one of your kids might not be daddy's? Who are you raising that's not your own? Which one of your kids are not your daddy's? Everybody, let's guess. Larry, go.
I'm not saying because I know that all 3 of them and their friends listen to this show.
I'm just saying all three of them are probably like me, maybe hopefully me.
Yeah, hopefully it's me. No, all 3 of you are mine. Don't. No, it's that one that it's Anthony. You're not familiar. You've met him once, and
His
claim
jaw
him.
is offset.
Yeah,
He's got the teeth on the outside. I got it.
yeah, he's a sweet boy.
His feet are upside down. I understand.
His feet is on. They're on his shoulders, but only when you subscribe to his OnlyFans. See, that was a hack joke, and I went for it.
Hacky joke. You got nothing else? Go to hacky. I do the same thing. Snack time Cabbage Patch doll. Snack time Cabbage Patch doll. This is really kind of.
I'd rather have a smackdown Cabbage Patch doll.
This is kind of like
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No, it's kind of like Chucky, but without the voodoo. So here's the idea.
So worthless.
None of the dolls of the 1980s, I'm reading right now. All this comes from SchultzMyers.com, by the way. SchultzMyers.com. I'm pulling all of these from a legal website. These are all bullshit things that they have done legal action against. So that's where I'm pulling this crap from. Little girls simply had to collect every one when it came to Cabbage Patch dolls. While the snack time Cabbage Patch doll was marketed as a doll who loves to snack and, in quotes, really choose. And she did. Manufacturers
no teeth, bitch.
Here's the issue. They didn't include a mechanism that could stop the doll from eating in the event that something other than plastic carrots and plastic French fries managed to make it into her mouth. Say, the hair of little girls.
I thought you were going to go with penis, but
entirely possible. Several young girls were featured on the news in the mid-90s for such incidents. Some had to get their hair cut or shaved in order to release it from the doll's stomach. The little snack time Cabbage Patch doll, they got their hair stuck in it, and the little Cabbage Patch doll kept eating. And yeah.
Look, I remember that. I remember that story.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I cut my hair. And now
you didn't cut your hair. God did.
It was my punishment.
The only possible cure for that is Professor Wacko's exothermic exuberance.
Professor Wacko's exothermic exuberance.
Blow that bitch's hair off.
I've experienced the exuberance.
How would you rate your experience?
0.5 out of 6 stars.
0.5?
You heard me.
I did. I just want to make sure. Okay, so at this point, we're going to the things that I have not actually read yet, but no, actually I did. This was what I knew. This is from the 40s. Like, I really wish
it's just dueling pistols.
Damn near. Yes. You're very close. In the 40s and 50s, they're just like, here's some gunpowder. Put your penis on it. Why? See what happens. Science. So,
because we're going to fight wars a lot, and we need you to be tough.
It was called the Austin Magic Pistol.
Fuck, I was close, wasn't I?
You were very close. So, the popular Austin Magic Pistol was marketed in the 1940s as a toy space gun. But it used very real calcium carbide, which mixed with water causes a fucking explosion, launching a ping pong ball out of the muzzle at a very, very freakishly large rate of speed. Now, needless to say, they were quickly taken off the market. You can't really hurt yourself no matter how fast the ping pong ball comes out. However, a lot of the times it would catch on fire.
Of course it would.
This accelerant. In the 40s, kids had a little like space gun that shot ping pong balls, but they would like go boop, boop, boop.
But they were backed by fireballs.
They were on fire. They were inflammable. They were just like, here you go, Billy. Bam. And they just like hit you right in the chest. You. Oh, God.
You know what? Let me do that again. I'm definitely getting that screenshot for future use. Mostly masturbatory purposes.
And I'll do the last one because this one actually hurt me.
I'm going to do the last one because apparently we're off the rails. That's what that subtext was.
There's a couple of ones that like don't interest me because not enough children are hurt. You know. But this one straight up injured me.
Okay.
When I was a kid. I'm not sure if we can call it a toy, but it hits. Trampolines. Yeah. What the fuck were we thinking?
You know what the only good thing a trampoline is? it's with if you put the net around the sides,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put the kids to bed, and just a bunch of adults lay on that trampoline and drink 2 cases of beer while listening to music, not jumping around, just laying on the trampoline as it just molds around your body, and you just lay there and be like, I wonder if God is really a woman or something, just asking each other questions.
Somebody very close to me has a trampoline in their backyard. They have small kids, and they do have that like net around it, which like is a safety net, and it keeps you away from like those springs of death. And those springs of death are actually not covered in like some manner of foam. However, in the 80s and 90s, when I was jumping on them, there was no bullshit thing around them. It was the size of an above ground pool. There were springs that were rusty and weird, just like all over the everything. And you just jumped up and down until somebody landed into a tree, put their fucking face through the springs, or broke their fucking coccyx. It was a goddamn nightmare.
Well, we had no safety measures. What we did was we built snow ramps and would have a guy on a sled pulled behind a 4-wheeler and try to ramp them up onto the trampoline, bounce them, and then then watch them as they suffered and died.
So I'm going to request that you allow me to get through this entire 2 paragraphs so I can get to my point at the end of it. It's going to be difficult.
I'm going to put my finger here.
Yeah. So all of this jarts and the fucking the uranium and Professor Wacko's exothermic exuberance, they all came from Schultz and Myers, personalinjurylawyers.com. Okay. So this is number 1 toy that causes injuries. Okay. This is trampolines. Yes, trampolines come in as the number 1 most dangerous toy of all time, according to the American Association of Orthopedic Surgeons. 246,875, very specific, trampoline injuries occur annually in the United States alone. Between 1990 and 1999, there were 11 trampoline-related deaths. If someone you know suffers a trampoline injury, your immediate response would depend on how severe the injury is. If the injured suffers a sprain or broken bone, they can be brought to a hospital. However, if there is any suspicion of a potential spine or neck injury, call 911. The victim should not be moved until EMS arrives. Additionally, it is important to consult with a personal injury lawyer as soon as is practical. Even if it seems that the injury wasn't anyone's fault, you may still be entitled to someone's economic recovery for your expenses. No personal injury lawyer should ever charge you for a trampoline accident consultation. So, all of that information that I got was to get down to number 1, so that Schultz and Myers can advertise, if you've read all the way down, that if your kid jumps off the trampoline and breaks his fucking balls off, call Schultz and Myers. We can get you a settlement.
I wish I had known this. I wish I had known this years ago. Can I talk now?
They don't even have that for jarts. I had to get through that. Like, it's just everything. It was like all these like dangerous toys. Then you get down to trampolines. It's like, well, if you got a trampoline injury, Schultz and Myers, personal injury attorneys.
Schultz and Myers. So several years ago, it was.
Oh, like, can we just talk about that for a second? Like, how fucking screwed up is that we went through all of this from their experience just to get to their ad at the absolute ass end of it? Like,
I respect it. That's some shit. That's some shit you and I would pull. You and I would pull that shit. Go through a whole thing and be like, and if you want to hear more about that subject, go to Zig and Larry Ignore Topic at Zig and Larry Ignore Topic Libsyn.fuckmyduck.
You have to admit, though, that's fucking shady as balls.
It is, but it's fucking hilarious.
It's very funny shit. Too. Yes. I'm sorry. I needed to acknowledge that. That's all.
So several years ago, Sally had a trampoline at the house, and she
Sally
got one,
is
the mother of the kids.
Yeah, I mean, just
Um,
for the listeners who
yeah,
may
for the
not know.
listeners,
Yeah.
she's a great lady, and she is the mother of my kiddos.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to like judge her worth. I'm just saying, who is she for the
No,
listener?
I just like giving props to people. So,
Fair.
but she had a trampoline and had like the whole guard around it, but all three kids were on it one day, and Gideon was like 6 or 7, and he kept telling Glenn, bounce me higher. And so Glenn would hit it at just the right spot, and Gid would go higher, and then higher, and he just kept screaming. And so Glenn was doing this, and then Gideon came down and landed just wrong and snapped. It was his left arm. Snapped his arm, just broke the forearm. And
did you call Schultz and Myers?
no, I needed that
Yeah.
number years ago. And where were you then?
I'm going to say jerking off, but I'm not sure.
That's probably fair. What was great is I get the phone call that says, hey, Gid broke his arm, we're headed to the hospital. And I was like, what? And I even said, how do you know he broke his arm? She's like, because it's at a 45-degree angle. Meet us there. I'm like, I'm on the way. And so we get there, and Glenn just feels guilty, right?
Of course, yeah.
And we're all like, it's not your fault. And even Gideon at that age, he's like, Glenn, it's not your fault. But he's sitting there like he's got this giant stuffed teddy bear, and his arm rests at this 45-degree angle. So we go to check in. And of course, it's a kid with a broken arm. And they got to make sure, right? You got to ask.
Make sure that it's broken?
No, make sure that it was the same story. He broke his arm on a yeah. So
okay, no, I didn't even. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
gotcha.
the front desk, they're like, so what happened? And he's like, my brother and my sister and I were jumping on a trampoline. And I kept asking my brother to bounce me higher. And that's the thing. Gideon never cried, never shed a tear. Like never freaked out. He just picked up his arm when it happened, and he's like, I think I broke my arm. And that was it. And of course everyone sees it at like, forearms do this. His was going boop at this angle. And so he's like, here's what happened. And they went, okay, so they get us back to the emergency room. And then like the nurse back there is like, okay, honey, tell me what happened. And he's like, so he tells the story again. And they get us to a different room, different nurse. Honey, tell me what happened. He tells the story again. Social worker comes in. Honey, tell me what happened. Tells the same story. It's the same story. And at one point, he's sitting there, and we're back in an actual room where he's going to get the treatment, right? But they got to send him for x-rays before it happens. But he's sitting there, and he's got his arm. We got SpongeBob on the TV, and he's got his arm draped across this teddy bear. And nurse comes, a different nurse. She's like, okay, sweetie, so tell me what happened. And he looks over it, 6 years old. He looks over, he lifts up his arm at that fucked up angle, and he goes, I broke my damn arm. And then goes back to SpongeBob. And she was like, I don't know. I'm supposed to. And I was like, he has told this story like 6 different times already. You're the 7th. I think he's all done, but I'm not sure. And she's like, sweetie, I really need. He looks over, still watching. He goes, 1, SpongeBob. 2, my arm's broken and it hurts. 3, trampoline. Brother, look at. And he was just like, that's it. He turned into a 90-year-old man all of a sudden, which is accurate because you met Grandpa Herschel.
Yes.
When Grandpa Herschel went to Chinatown, and he's standing there with the driver's cap and his arms
Grandpa
crossed.
Herschel went to Chinatown.
And he's got the toothpick out of his mouth, and I sent you the picture. It's like, I think Grandpa Herschel's all done with Chinatown. You're like, oh my God, get that old man home. Because we were all staying at the apartment.
I think we've only had one special guest. I think that we should probably have Gideon on for 15 minutes of an episode coming up. I think that the at this point, possibly the listeners would like to hear from Gid. If you'd like to hear from Gideon for 15 minutes, please hit us up at ziggylarryignoringtopic@gmail.com or comment underneath our bullshit at the YouTubes.
Yep. Yeah, because the kid's gonna put us in our place. He's gonna kill us.
That's fine.
And that's fine. I relish it.
I've been dead from the soul down for 2 decades.
I want to refute, but I can't.
Nah, you can't.
But you've been adorable the whole time.
What did we learn, Larry?
I learned that
No, what did we learn?
we learned that toys used to be cooler. And that if your parents loved you, they give you a chance at somehow getting superpowers.
It's hard to break your dick off on a Nerf fleshlight.
But I'm willing to try.
Christ.
What else did we learn, Zig?
That we both need a hug, like right now.
Yeah. When does your wife get home?
She currently is. We had to let the dog out to deal with. I'm not sure if I'm in trouble or if I'm going to get a hug. It's always the same with me. It's somewhere in the middle, and I'm not certain.
And I get called a beautiful dickhead, and then I get a hug, and I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, guess what though?
Yeah, da. What?
I love you.
I love me too.
I know. You should.
Yeah, I'm fucking great.
You are.
I'm just like, dude, I'm fucking rad. I'm like the best.
Like the most beautiful penis ever.
Amazingly beautiful penis. Like I'm like me perfect. And my penis.
It's
so
like
good.
I'm gonna like second best penis next to my wife's.
That's fine, but like mine, it smells like lavender and like the best parts of Tokyo. It's weird.
Hers smells like cookies and cream ice cream, and a hug from grandma.
We're talking about me and how great I am. I mean, we always talk about.
I'm sorry. You're
okay.
right.
Can we talk? Bring it back to me and how amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
how much you love me.
Yeah, I do. I love you, and
thank you.
If I didn't, I wouldn't have put up with this bullshit for 20-some years.
Make it physical and talk to me about my taste.
It's like 3-day-old cookies.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad, but you know it could be better.
And I love you too.
I love you back.
Parts about hanging out with these guys. God damn it, son of a bitch, motherfuck.